The world laughed back in March. Experts scoffed. Comment sections burned. And yet, here we are. Because sometimes, the boldest predictions aren't guesses, they're warnings the world isn't ready to hear. Before the first pitch of the season was ever thrown, before the dust settled on spring training fields, one name was whispered like a prophecy waiting to be tested: Shohei Ohtani. MVP. Again. And the Los Angeles Dodgers, champions once more. Back to back. A dream. Or destiny. At the time, it sounded impossible. Too perfect. Too scripted. Baseball doesn't work like that, they said. But baseball has always had room for miracles. The 2025 season didn't begin with fireworks. It began with tension. Every stadium Ohtani stepped into felt heavier, quieter, like the crowd knew they were watching something historic unfolding in real time. Every at-bat carried a question. Every swing carried pressure. Because greatness isn't proven when things are easy, it's proven when the entire world expects you to fail. Pitchers attacked him differently. Smarter. Meaner. Faster. They tried to expose cracks that simply weren't there. And when they thought they had him figured out, he adjusted. Again. And again. Home runs weren't just numbers on a stat sheet. They were statements. Each one felt like a reminder: you can plan for him, but you can't stop him. Then came the moments that don't show up in box scores. The stolen bases when no one expected them. The clutch walks. The discipline. The calm. The look in his eyes that said, "I belong here." While the spotlight burned brightest on Ohtani, the Dodgers were quietly becoming something terrifying, a machine built not just on talent, but belief. Injuries tried to break them. Slumps tested them. Doubt crept in when rivals surged. But this team didn't panic. Champions rarely do. There were nights when the offense disappeared, and the pitching answered. Nights when the bullpen wobbled, and the bats exploded. Every weakness was covered by trust. And then October arrived. The air changed. The games slowed. Every pitch felt heavier than the last. This is where dynasties die, or are born. Opponents threw everything they had. High heat. Breaking balls in the dirt. Mind games. Noise. Pressure. And still, the Dodgers stood. And Ohtani. He didn't just show up. He owned the moment. A double that silenced a stadium. A home run that felt inevitable the second it left his bat. A calm trot around the bases as if this was always how the story was meant to go. By the time MVP conversations reached their peak, there was no argument left. Stats backed it. Impact confirmed it. History demanded it. Shohei Ohtani wasn't just the best player in baseball. He was the center of gravity for the entire sport. When the MVP was announced, it felt less like a surprise, and more like a confirmation of something we already knew in our bones. And then came the final test. The World Series didn't give the Dodgers an easy path. Nothing about it was comfortable. Momentum swung. Games tightened. One mistake could have ended everything. But champions don't wait for perfect moments. They create them. A clutch hit here. A shutdown inning there. Defense that refused to crack. Pitching that bent but never broke. When the final out was recorded, there was no chaos, just release. Relief. Joy. Validation. Back-to-back champions. And suddenly, that March prediction, once mocked, once doubted, stood tall, untouched by disbelief. It wasn't luck. It wasn't hype. It was understanding greatness before it fully revealed itself. Ohtani didn't just win an MVP. He reshaped expectations. He reminded us that limits are often lies we tell ourselves because true greatness scares us. The Dodgers didn't just repeat as champions. They proved that dominance isn't arrogance, it's preparation meeting belief. And now, as the confetti settles and the debates fade, one truth remains undeniable. Some stories feel unbelievable, until they happen right in front of us. And when history looks back at this season, it won't ask if it was predicted. It will ask how we ever doubted it in the first place.